Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Aveni's Game Room. This is Road Rash for the Commodore Amiga. Now, I first discovered Road Rash on the Commodore Amiga, and I think it cost me around about £25, and it was developed by Peakstar Software in 1992 and published by Electronic Arts. Now, one of the things with this is, with me actually playing this on the Amiga first, I thought it was brilliant. The only issue I did have with it was the amount of loading time. I did have two drives on my Amiga. I had an external floppy as well, and it did have a fair bit of loading involved, which wasn't too bad. I mean, back then you didn't really mind. Nowadays it's a bit different. It would kind of annoy me a little bit because I'm used to obviously having things instantly, but one of the main, let's get my name put in first. Right. One of the main sort of things nowadays is I have a hard drive, a 40 gig hard drive fitted in my A1200, and WHD load, so I can play this straight off my hard drive, and it just makes the game so much more enjoyable, obviously, because you don't have the load times. Now, there's a few differences between this one and the Mega Drive. The music's different, as you'll find out when we start the game. There you see it's loading, but obviously because I'm using WHD load, it's not going to take too long. But yeah, as I was saying, there's a few differences. The first one being the music. Now, as I said, I played this one first, and I thought the music was brilliant, and it kind of suited the game. And you've got all your punches and so get a kick. I really struggle doing kicks on the Amiga version. I'm not going to be able to pull it off. I can't hit the diagonal properly on this joystick, unfortunately, so I'll stick to punching for now. As you can see, the graphics are nice. It's very smooth and slick. And basically, the object is to win. There's a few ways you can do that. You have a choice. You can go through and kick the crap out of everybody. Obviously, I can't demonstrate that at the moment because I can't seem to get the joystick to hit the diagonal properly. No, I'll just stick to punching for now. I do apologise. And basically, you can either race straight to the end, or you can have some fun on the way. Now, this is the part of the game I love. As well as it being a great little racer, you also have the opportunity to beat them up. If I can manage it. Come on, you sod. Get off the bike. I will get there eventually, I promise. Now, there's a few different weapons and things. I think this version only has the club. I think it's Road Rash 2, which has extra things like the crowbar and a pair of nunchucks and things. But that doesn't detract from the game whatsoever. And I bought this, and I think it was £25, and I enjoyed it so much that the following week I went out and bought the Mega Drive version, purely because the load times on the Amiga kind of irritated me a little bit, and I never looked back after that. I stuck with the Mega Drive version until I got my hard drive in the A1200. Then I came back to this one. Now, there's lots of different obstacles to avoid. As you can see, there's trees and signposts, and there's cows, roadworks and things there to catch you out. And then there's the traffic. This was the first game, I think, well, motorbike game anyway, that I'd ever sort of experienced other road users. I'd played Super Hang-On, I was a big fan of that, and I liked it in the arcades, especially the sit-down bike. But this was kind of new experience for me, this, having other road users. The only thing with it was, obviously, they're driving on the wrong side of the road if you're here in the UK. We drive on the left. Hey, and there's a win for me. Right. Now, if you're wanting to buy a new bike at this point, you can press F3 and go through. Obviously, I don't have enough money yet. No. So I can't buy a bike, so we'll have to forget about that. And I'll show you another one of the races to show you the differences in the music. Now, I do prefer the Mega Drive music, but it's kind of weird for me on the Amiga because the music's intoxicating at times. It kind of relaxes you a lot. It's not sort of in-your-face rock tunes like it is in the Mega Drive version, and it does suit the game very well, but like I said, I prefer the music on the Mega Drive version. So he's kicking me. There we go, I managed to kick. Oh my god. Yay! At last I've finally figured out my joypad. Oh! Get off, get off. Come on. Oh yeah, I was going to knock somebody off the bikes for you. Right. Oh. Now, there's two forms of control system on the Amiga version. I'm using the one where you push forward to accelerate, pull back to brake, and then use your fire button to punch, and use your diagonal down to kick. But the other control method is it changes the fire button to your punch. Accelerate, sorry. Changes your fire button to accelerate, and your up is punch, and obviously your diagonals down, left and right is your kicking. Now if you look at the bottom of the screen, we have rear view mirrors. Left hand side where my name is, that's my health. God. Then there's the health of the bike in the middle, and at the far right side we have the health of the closest person, either in front or behind me. Then you've got, just underneath that, you've got your position, your time, then to the left of that you have your rev counter, and to the left of that you have your speedo, and in the middle of that, oh god, you have how far you've covered. Hey, get off. And basically as you go through the game, the races do get longer and more challenging, but obviously you get faster bikes, so it's not too bad. But the thing with the faster bikes is they're a little bit harder to control, so that adds even more of a challenge to it. Now I used to read Amiga Power, and I don't think this was received very well in Amiga Power. They give it a really bad review, I think, if I remember right. It didn't do too good at all. Ooh, God. Which is a shame, really, because it's just a fantastic little racer at the end of the day. Something I highly recommend to anybody who's into motorbike games. This is definitely one to try. You won't be disappointed, I don't think. Ooh. But like I said, there's lots of different ways of playing it. You can just run around racing, or like I said, get involved, get fisticuffs out, become a bike pugilist. Oh, get down, you guess. There we go. Or you can kick them off, which I don't seem to be able to pull that move off very convincingly on the Amiga version, unfortunately. Oh, I came fourth that time. That wasn't too great. But yeah, I highly recommend this game. If you see it on eBay or anything, if you're a collector, it's another one of those games you should go for, especially if you have a hard drive fitted to your Amiga. Like I said, in my A1200 I've got my hard drive set up and extra memory and things in it, and it's just a joy to play without the loading times of your floppy disks. The other instances what are slightly different is there's no music on this screen, and there's little bits of music in other places which it doesn't have. I assume that's just down to space on the floppy disks rather than them not wanting to put it in, because it was on 2 disks when it was released for the Amiga. But as I said, I went out and I bought the Mega Drive version. I think it was the week afterwards. I waited till payday purely because of the loading times, but the music just blew me away on the Mega Drive version. It wasn't sort of serene like it is on the Amiga. It was more thrashy and rock bandy, which kind of increased my enjoyment a little bit because I'm a fan of heavy metal music and things like that. So it suited my taste a little bit better. But yeah, this is Road Rash for the Commodore Amiga. It was published by Peak Star Software in 1992. Actually no, it was published by Electronic Arts in 1992, sorry. And it was developed by Peak Star Software. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.